Hey guys, welcome back to Oak and Blade. I'm Tony, and today is Pozole Rojo on the fire. So first thing we're going to do is start a fire. So October apparently is known as soup season. So apparently everybody likes to have soup this time of year. I'm not one of them that's big on soup, I'll admit. So I'm going to make this kind of soups that I would want to eat, and that is pozole. So Pozole Rojo is basically a pork and hominy stew that's colored and flavored with red chilies. So it's freaking delicious. You're definitely going to want to try to make it. So follow me to the herb garden and let's gather fresh herbs together. Got a few weeds in here, but that's okay. We still have what we need. Got a nice little handful of oregano here. Alright, the fire is starting to burn down into some coals. So I'm going to go ahead and throw my rack on here. Not the best cooking method way for me. I'm going to modify this in the future, but it is good enough to get by today. So we're going to use a Dutch oven for the bulk of the cooking, but then I'm also going to use a 12-inch cast iron skillet and a little sauce pot. We're going to fill the sauce pot with a quart of water. We're going to bring that to a boil, and we're going to use that for our chilies. We're going to reconstitute our chilies in there. So while that's heating up, we're going to go ahead and cut up our pork. We're using a Boston butt today. That is a cut from the shoulder. It's got a lot of good fat marbled through it. A lot of connective tissue. It's going to take a while to cook and break that down and become really nice and tender, but it is about the perfect piece of meat for this, I believe. It's not going to dry out in a long cook, and it's going to be tender and delicious. So go ahead and season it up with salt and pepper. We cut it into about 1.5 inch thick chunks, and I think that's about right for what we're doing here. They might be a little bit bigger than bite size, but the nice thing is that they are going to smash up and kind of shred apart in your bowl. It's very easy to cut with a spoon. So I'd rather them be a little bit bigger and take our time cooking them, not try them out. So anyway, we threw it in the pan there. We're gonna go ahead and sear it nicely, get a nice brown crust on it, and we'll get our garlic ready. We're just taking the excess paper off, leave the skins on, toss them in the skillet with the chilies, and we're gonna toast everything up for our adobo that's gonna go in later. So with fire cooking, your coals are constantly, up and down. They're hot and they cool down. You're constantly having to rake things around, add new wood, new coals, because you need hot embers the whole time. So it's not like cooking on a stove where you can just set it and forget it. You have to constantly monitor the temperature and adjust accordingly. So we're starting to look pretty good on our chilies. They're puffing up. They're starting to get a nice toast on them. So we're going to go ahead and pull them off. We don't want to burn them. We don't want to overdo it. You don't want them to get, bitter and charred flavored. You want to basically wake them up. You want to get, their oils moving around and release some of that extra flavor in there. So the water's boiling. It's time to go ahead and get these chilies processed down once they're cool enough to handle. Basically, we're just going to remove the stems and the seeds as much as possible. We definitely don't want the stems, but a few seeds isn't going to hurt. So do the best you can with them. Some of the ancho chilies can be a little sticky on the inside, and sometimes the seeds don't want to release very well. They don't want to cooperate. So don't sweat it. Just leave a few of them in if you have to. So the garlic looked pretty good too. Basically just going to peel the paper, the skin off the outside of the garlic. Some of them have a nice little char on them. That's good. A little extra flavor. Now that our water is hot enough, we're going to go ahead and add in the chilies and the garlic, and we're just going to let everything soak in there and kind of rehydrate and soften up. And we're going to cover it up and let them sit for about 30 minutes. So by this point, we're starting to get a really nice crust on the bottom of this pork shoulder. So we're going to go ahead and stir it around, and it's about time to add some water and start making the soup. So we have about 5 quarts of water here. I was going for 6, but the pan's just not quite big enough. So we do what we have to. At this point, I want to go ahead and remove the grate, and I want to get the Dutch oven right down in the bed of coals. So we're going to lay down, you know, a nice little pile of hot coals, and then we're going to set the Dutch oven right on top of it. And then I'm going to rake over and kind of pile up some coals around the perimeter. This fire pit, unfortunately, is a little too deep to cook on a grate, you know, above. So in a future video, I think we're going to modify this, and then we're going to build some accessories to be able to cook on here properly. So continue to monitor that fire, add more wood when you need to, and continue to develop new coals so you can rake over when you need them. So we've kind of got a little 2-zone fire. We've got the wood piled up on one side, burning, making new coals. Then we have a bed of coals under the Dutch oven that we're using to cook. So we'll go ahead and dice up a yellow onion and throw all that in there. Let it start cooking down with the pork, flavor and everything. Got some bay leaves and our lovely little bunch of oregano that we harvested from the garden earlier. So go ahead and stir that all around and let everything start getting to know each other. So it's been 30 minutes and our chilies are rehydrated and we're ready to start building our adobo. We have onions, we have oregano, and we have cumin. Then we're adding some salt. And we're going to add some black pepper. So now I'm going to hit it with an immersion blender and get everything pureed up nicely. I would prefer using a standard mixer, but I didn't feel like lugging that big thing outside, so immersion blender it is. So it might be a little thick. Go ahead and add in some water to thin it out a little bit so you can get everything blended up nicely. And this is about the consistency you're looking for. Something you can pour out into the pot easily, but you know, not super thin. And then we're just going to dump it right in the pot with the pork and onions and herbs, and we're going to let that all simmer together. Now you see we're starting to get that nice red color that you want. We have a lot of nice chili flavor. Simmering away nicely. That is a beautiful bed of coals there. Just constantly manipulating the coals, watching them, looking at them, smelling them. Looking good. Alright, so at this point we're going to dip out maybe like 2 cups of the cooking liquid. 2 to 3 cups. It doesn't matter, you're going to add it back. And we're going to take this hominy, and we're going to add it in, and then we're going to blend it all up. And we're going to, so I put about a cup and a half of hominy in with that cooking liquid. And then we're going to puree it up, and it's going to help flavor the soup, get the hominy flavor throughout in every bite. We're also going to have whole hominy in there too, so this is the time to go ahead and add that in. So if you don't know what hominy is, it's basically just corn. It's Mexican corn. It's been treated in a lye solution. Usually it's like wood ash lye. I think I read that they use pickling lime sometimes as well. But basically what it does is it just dissolves the outer coating off the corn, plumps it up, kind of changes the texture of it. And you can use it whole in hominy like we're doing today, or it can be ground up into masa to make tortillas. So you're going to have a lot of that tortilla flavor with the hominy in this soup, and it's great. So it's all done now. Time to go ahead and plate it up and serve it, and that's pretty much it. We'll top it with some radishes, some cabbage, some tortilla strips, and some cilantro. So I hope you guys like it. Give it a try and subscribe for more. Thanks.